And we are live from the CSI Softball Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island for Game 2 of today's East Coast Conference doubleheader between the College of Staten Island Dolphins and the Spartans of St. Thomas Aquinas College. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman as we have an extra base hit to open up this game. And it is a long extra base hit all the way to the fence in right center field. The throw to third gets away, and holding there is Elise Marcano with a leadoff triple. So that's how we get started here in Game 2. As Alexandra Frenza is in the circle for the Dolphins. We'll get you the Spartans lineup she will face in just a few moments as we get one more look at that last triple all the way to the fence in right center field. Early threat for the Spartans here in the opening half inning. We'll have to get our live stats powered as well. Just have to make sure we have the right game chosen. We should be good now. So send those stat files so I can get a look. All right, I'll have to hop over in between innings. Not working. Either way, the Dolphins do get the first out without allowing the run to come in. And that will bring up Eliana Raposo. And Raposo takes ball one. That's hit to third. Motley will come home with it. High throw, and the tag is applied in time. Play at the plate, and the Dolphins get a big second out as they cut down the game's first run trying to score. Good decisive play over at third base by Bridget Motley. The throw was just a bit high, but it didn't matter. As it was in with plenty of time, the tag was applied, and now the inning is over. Line out to short, one pitch out for the final out. In the road first inning, we have no score, headed to the home first.
Life is the only thing we need. They need me to go, but I don't want to leave.
Dear softball, thank you. Thank you for taking in that crazy hyper 5-year-old and giving her away to channel that energy so positively. Thank you for the role models you have given me. Thank you for teaching me how to be a teammate. Thank you for teaching me how to deal with failure. Thank you for all of my friends. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to go to a university like the University of Florida and get my degree while playing this incredible sport. Thank you for the bond you have created between me and my family. Thank you for all of the coaches that you have given me that have impacted my life beyond measure. Megan Stotts, Lisa Vigo, Mike Stith, and Coach Walton. Thank you for this platform to impact the next generation of softball players. Thank you for giving Florida softball a way to honor pediatric cancer every time we step on the field with our yellow flowers. Thank you for the feeling of playing for something so much bigger than myself. Thank you for being so much more than a sport. This sport has given me everything and more.
Eileen Balderas will lead off for the Dolphins in the home first inning. As our live stats still are not cooperating. For whatever reason, they will not reset to reflect the current game, even though it's telling us that they are pushing. So I'm going to have to try one more thing in between innings and see if that can correct it, because I need those stats to call this game. As Amanda Stalker will be the batter. We do, however, have the Game 1 box score, so we can get a look at what some of the key players did in Game 1. With the loss, the Dolphins fall to 10-17 on the year. They are now 3-4 in conference play. The Spartans 17-16 on the year now, and they are 6-1 against the ECC. Amanda Stalker at the plate now. She was 0 for 4 in the early game, and she takes up and in for ball 2. CSI defense coming up big in that first half inning. Nice play by Motley to get the out at the plate. Good pitching by Alexandra Frenza to get a couple of outs on the infield. Actually, 3 straight. Ball did not leave the infield once as Frenza escaped trouble. Comes the 2-2 to Stalker, and that's top foul. That's hit in the air, foul territory in play, and the basket catch was dropped. Count remains 2-2. That's taken inside for ball 3. That's fouled away again. The count remains full, 3-2. That's hit towards short, hit slowly. Throw across the diamond in time, and Stalker is retired for out number 2.
Now batting the first baseman, number 34, Anissa Acosta.
That will bring up Anissa Acosta. That's taken inside for ball 1. That's grounded foul, and the count evens up at 1. Acosta in the early game was 1 for 3 with an RBI. Behind her, Olivia Wanzer 1 for 2 with a couple of runs batted in. And again, Acosta rips one foul down the left field line. Count even at 2. That pitch is taken outside for ball 3. And for the second time here in this home first inning, the Dolphins have worked the count full. Comes the 3-2. And that's hit to straightaway center and caught for the final out of the inning. Dolphins go down 1-2-3 in their half of the first. We have no score through 1.
The legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Jessica Thurick will lead off for the Spartans here in the road second inning. Stack had a big opportunity to score in the first. Could not cash in with a runner on third and nobody out. And now Alexandra Frenza back to work here in the second. And she has another quick out as there's one away to get the inning started. That will bring up Olivia Leone. Leone in the first game 0 for 2 at the plate. She takes high for ball one. That's outside for ball two. Frenza behind 2-0 here. And that's it out to shallow left. That's down for a hit. A well-placed one-out single by Olivia Leone gives the Spartans a one-out base runner. That will bring up Aaliyah Thurick. She was 0 for 3 in game one as she lays down a bunt. That rolls foul. Our live stats have come to life as that's hit to Warner at second, and the flip goes to first in time. Though we look to be about 2 batters behind, so perhaps the internet wreaking havoc here. We'll work on it. 2 away now, runner in scoring position. And at the plate, Caitlin Taducco. Taducco did not play in game one. That's fouled away as the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. That misses for ball 2, and the count runs to 2-1. That misses up and away for ball 3. That's hit foul the other way as we have yet another full count early in this game. It's 3-2. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes on Taducco in her first at bat of the day. Payoff pitch on its way, and that's popped up. Shallow right, could be trouble. And Stalker can't make the sliding catch as the game's first run will score. It's a bloop single for Caitlin Taducco, and she will take the RBI as the Spartans go ahead 1-0. And that one stings if you're the Dolphins. Frenza induced soft contact. Got Taducco reaching for that pitch up and away. And she dumped it into shallow right field after Stalker nearly made a great sliding catch. The Dolphins surrender the first run for the second consecutive game. They trailed 5-0 in game one, pulled to within 2, but that was as close as they would get. Already 3 hits in the game for the Spartans as that's bunted foul. Amanda Demerly continues to put the Dolphins infield to work, laying down bunts. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike on Demerly. Demerly was 0 for 3 with 2 runs scored and an RBI in game 1. Comes the 1-2. That's fouled straight back again. But Demerly continues to battle, as it looked like Frenza had escaped this second inning. But that ball just came out of the glove of Stalker in right field on the sliding attempt. It remains 1-2, and Demerly takes high. Comes the 2-2. And that's hit softly to second. Warner will go to first with it, and the side is retired. But not before the Spartans strike first for the second consecutive game. They lead CSI 1-0, heading to the home second.
Dear softball, thank you. Thank you for the countless memories you have given me. Thank you for the friends and the family you have brought into my life. Thank you for giving me something to look forward to when the times got tough. You have taught me that this game is about so much more than myself and more than the wins and the losses. It's about the impact you can make on people and difference you can make in this world just by playing this game. Through the smiles, the tears, the sweat, and the injuries, you have given me the ability to live out my dreams and do what I've always wanted to do. Play at the highest level and compete with some of my best friends and sisters that stand to the left and right of me. You have brought so many great people into my life, some of my best friends that are no longer just friends but family. I fell in love with you at such a young age and I've never looked back. You have given me the opportunities that no other sport could have given me. You have showed me that you can bring so many different people from different backgrounds together to all play this game and all share one thing in common, you. You have allowed me to travel the world and see things I could have never imagined seeing and adventuring out and doing things I'd never imagined doing. You have given me the opportunity to grow your game and inspire so many young girls around this world. I will forever be in debt to you for the opportunities you have given me. The one thing I am most thankful for about you is that you have taught me that no matter how many times I failed in the game or in life, that things will be okay, because from those failures I would learn so much about myself to not only make me a better player on the field, but also a better person off the field and down this lifelong road. The life lessons you have taught me through this game, I will forever be thankful for to take with me and never let go. Softball, I love you so much. Please don't ever stop growing and inspiring like you did for me. Jesse.
Olivia Wanzer leads off for the Dolphins here in the home second inning. Her team now trailing 1-0 after a bloop single into shallow right plated the game's first run. Count even at 1, and that's grounded just foul down the third base line. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Dolphins' designated player. Comes the 1-2. And that is in for a called strike 3. There's now 1 away in the inning, and Olivia Warner will be the batter.
Olivia Warner.
Warner was 1 for 3 in game 1 as she takes a strike. No Dolphin had multiple hits in the first game. Raposo and Marcano both with 2 hits for the Spartans. Final line in game 1, Stack 7 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors. The Dolphins 3 runs on 6 hits with 2 errors. And the 1-1 misses outside. Count now 2-1 on the CSI second baseman. Pitch on its way. And that's it out to center, where the catch is made for the second out of the inning. That will bring up Bridget Motley. Motley came up in a big spot in game one. Had 2 on with 2 outs. The Dolphins trailed by 2 at the time. And Motley hit one sharply to right field, but right at the right fielder. As that's fouled away. And Motley's behind 0-1. Bases empty, 2 outs here in the home second. And that's low for ball 1. That's in for a strike. And the 1-2 is fouled away. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Comes the 1-2. And that's hit softly on the ground to third. And the call is out at first base. I did not think the Spartans had a play. How about that? A strong throw from over at third base. Cuts down Motley at first. We'll get a look at it right here. But credit is due on that play, as a strong throw by Thierick was the difference. And we'll back it up and slow it down one more time. Tough for me to get a great look on the very small screen here. But perhaps the viewers at home getting a better look at it on replay. She looked safe to me, but nonetheless, my opinion does not matter. And we are headed to the third inning, 1-0 Spartans.
Thank you, softball, for making me such a stronger person. I think the life lessons that we go through being student athletes is just incredible. I mean, we have to learn to balance so many different things on a daily basis, and softball in particular is such a sport of failure that it's taught me to just never give up.
Third inning from the CSI Softball Complex, where the Dolphins trail 1-0. Meanwhile, we have a scoring update from baseball. The Dolphins baseball team also taking on the Stack Spartans today, as that's bunted toward third, and Motley will not have a play. It's a bunt single for Elise Marcano, and Stack has a leadoff base runner here in the third. But meanwhile at baseball, Dolphins led that game 6-2. It is now 10-6 Spartans as they play in the ninth inning. So it looks like, barring a late Dolphins rally, that Stack is poised to take the first game in that series. 2 games played on the road today, 2 more here at the CSI Baseball Complex tomorrow. That pitch is fouled away. And the count is 1-2. So the bunt single that I thought was a bunt single was contacted in the box by the batter. That was a foul ball. As that's pulled to first. Nice stop by Acosta. She steps on the bag for the first out. So what I thought was a bunt single was in fact a foul ball. Didn't realize it until I looked up and saw Marcano still in the box. So rather than a leadoff base runner, there's now one away in the inning, and Adriana Coira will be the batter. And that's hit to shallow right. Stalker makes the diving catch. Great play by Stalker in right field. And it did not look like she was going to get there off the bat. But a great jump on that ball was the difference. And Stalker comes up with the diving catch for the second out of the inning. Here's another look. Stalker got a great break on that ball and was able to make the play in shallow right center. As Eliana Raposo takes a strike, she's behind 0-1. Raposo 0 for 1 at the plate in this game. Comes the 1-1. That misses high. And the 2-1 is sliced foul. So just like that, Frenza 1 strike away from a 1-2-3 third inning. For much of the day, the Spartans haven't made things easy on Dolphins pitching. Comes the 2-2. And that's hit to right center. And it will find the gap for an extra base hit. That ball wasn't hit particularly hard, but it was slicing away from Carcano in center field. It ended up rolling to the base of the fence in right center, and Carcano did well to track it down and hold Raposo to a double. However, that will give Tara Hagan a chance in an RBI spot, and she will have an opportunity to double the stack lead. Here's a look at that last base hit. That's a good two-strike swing right there as that gets away from Latour, and great base running by Raposo will gain her third base. She didn't get third on the hit, but immediately takes third. On that ball in the dirt as that pitch is in for a strike. And the count evens up at 1. There's a swing and miss for strike 2. And once again, Frenza within one pitch of a scoreless inning. And that's hit well to left center. Carcano can't run this one down. And it's an RBI base hit for Tara Hagan, her second RBI hit of the day, first coming in game 1. And the Spartans now lead it 2-0. Stack really making the most of their chances with runners in scoring position. We don't have the numbers for batting with runners in scoring position for a given game or a given day, but I can say with absolute certainty that the Spartans have hit really well with runners on base today. That pitch misses down and in for ball 2. And very quickly, Jessica Furyk is ahead 2-0. Furyk 0 for 1 in this game. Spartans now have 5 hits. Comes the 3-0 pitch. And that misses for ball 4. So after beginning the inning with 2 outs and nobody on, 1 runner's already home for the Spartans. And they have 2 on, as we're going to have a pitching change here. Alexis Miramontes will come on in relief of Alexandra Frenza. Dolphins trailing 2-0 as we play on in the road third inning.
Now coming into pitch for your Dolphins.
And we're back here on CSI Sportsnet as Alexis Miramontes takes over for Alexandra Frenza. We'll get you the numbers on Miramontes following this at bat if the inning continues. As that's lined into center field for a base hit. And heading home is Hagan. A bit of a late decision, and Hagan is out. Hagan did not pick up her third base coach there, as Kristen Sullivan was emphatically pointing her in the direction of home plate. Hagan thought that she would be out, hesitated, and that cost the Spartans a run. We'll get one more look on replay. But nonetheless, Stack tacks on another here in the third inning. They now lead Staten Island 2-0, as we'll send it to break with a replay of that last base hit.
Dear softball, where to begin with what you have given me? I have struggled with you at times, but you have unequivocally made me who I am today. You have given me light in the darkest times where I thought light could not enter. Growing up, you were there for me when social groups may not have been. You were there through familiar hard times, and you never gave up on me. You have introduced me to so many influential people in my life, and I wouldn't have dreamt of meeting if it was not for you. You always kept me motivated to pursue a dream. No matter what was going on in life, you kept inspiring me to chase my dreams. And you have taught me many life lessons of overcoming, perseverance, and what it truly means to dedicate yourself to your craft. You have taught me that success is not guaranteed or promised, and that it is earned every second of every day. Softball, you have guided me, pushed me to be my best, and inspired me. You kept me going when I thought I had no more to give. At times, you were my last hope. You have led me to this moment here, today, where I could not be more indebted to you. My name is Jenna Lilly. I am a senior softball player at the University of Oregon, majoring in sociology with a minor in psychology.
The home third inning opens with ball one to Sabrina Caffel. Caffel getting the start in both games today. And she takes down and in for ball two. Spartans already with 6 hits in this game. Certainly could be leading by more. In the first inning, they had a runner on third with nobody out, did not score. And in that last half inning, they certainly should have scored a second run, as Caffel takes strike two. But the Dolphins have been afforded a couple of breaks. Good pitching by Frenza in the first to escape that jam. And then the failure by Hagan to pick up her third base coach cost Stack a run. Both teams in game one had 6 hits. As I mentioned, Stack already with 6 in this game. Dolphins will now have to piece the rest of this game together out of their bullpen, as Alexandra Frenza went 2 2/3. Miramontes gave up a hit, but the last out, of course, recorded at the plate. As Caffel takes high for ball 4. So the Dolphins draw a leadoff walk here in the 3rd inning. And that will bring up Cassidy Latour. Latour was 0 for 2 in the first game. First at bat here in game 2. And she takes up and in for ball 1. Count 1-0 on the Dolphins catcher. And that's off the inside corner for ball 2. So Latour hitting with a 2-0 count here. She represents the tying run at the plate. Good speed on first and Caffel. And Latour fouls that one back. Count now 2-1 on Latour. Pitch on its way. That's fouled off again. Latour's been just a bit late today. We've seen a lot of foul balls in her at-bats. They pitched her almost exclusively up and away in game 1. Raposo came inside earlier in this at-bat. And again, that's an inside pitch, grounded to third. Long throw, in time. Nice play at first as well to field that ball on the hop. That one nearly handcuffed Hagan, but she was able to secure it in her glove. And over at third, Furyk had to make a strong throw as that ball took her toward the line. Here's a second look at it as Mariah Carcano steps into the box. And Carcano showed bunt on the first pitch, but did not offer. And she's ahead 1-0. Here comes the 1-0. That's a letter high strike. Dolphins still looking for their first hit in this game. Caffel reached on a walk. Carcano bunts toward the circle. It's a good one, and they have no chance to get her. The corners continue to play her in, and Carcano once again finds an opening to drop down a bunt and reach base with an infield single. Look how far in Furyk was at third. Carcano adjusts and bunts it right back toward the circle. That's the first Dolphins hit of the game. Tying run now on base. And we'll see if the Dolphins look to send Carcano here. That would all but assure them a run if the Spartans choose to throw. If not, then they have 2 in scoring position. As Balderas sneaks one into left field over the glove of Furyk. And the Dolphins have cut the lead of the Spartans in half. It's now 2-1 on an RBI single by Eileen Balderas. And that will bring Amanda Stalker to the plate. As we'll get another look at that base hit by Balderas. That pitch ran inside. It got in on Eileen's hands, but she's strong enough that she was able to sneak it over third base. Furyk was also playing a few steps in over at third as the runners are going. And Carcano certainly looked safe there. The throw beat her, but I don't believe the tag did, as we will get a second look on replay. And I think Tracy Garofalo is right on that one. The throw beat Carcano by a wide margin, and I think that was the difference. We'll have to wait. As Stalker hits one deep to left field, headed toward the wall and off the fence. Here comes Balderas with the tying run, and the Dolphins have drawn even. It's now 2-2. It's a game-tying RBI double for Amanda Stalker. And the Dolphins have once again come from behind to get even, as we've seen this many times this year. The Dolphins do not quit. They will not go away. And Stalker has tied the score with a long double, as that one hit halfway up the left field wall. Were it not for the wind, that ball certainly would have left. While we have a break in the action, here's another look at that play over at third. We have a pretty good look at it from our vantage point. That's when the throw arrives, well ahead of Carcano. We'll back it up and slow it down just a bit more following this next pitch, as Anissa Acosta rips one just foul. Here's one more look. We'll have to wind it forward a bit. Really tough to tell as I'm on a very small screen, but in real time, the throw certainly beat Carcano. I thought she beat the tag. Either way, that is a big call, as there are now 2 outs in the inning, and were it not for the out call, Stalker drives in 2 instead of 1. That pitch misses high and outside for ball 2. And with Olivia Wanzer on deck, Anissa Acosta has protection in the lineup that was often lacking behind her last year. In this spot last season, there is no way TJ would have seen a strike. And even now, in 2024, they're pitching her very carefully. It's 3-1. 3-1 coming. And that's outside for ball 4. Acosta is on with a 2-out walk. And that will bring up Olivia Wanzer. Wanzer is 0 for 1 at the plate. And she pops it up on the infield. Fearick calls, and she collided with Stalker, nearly dropped the ball. And that will do it for the Dolphins here in the third inning. But not before CSI comes from behind to tie the score, as Amanda Stalker delivers a long double off the left field fence to get CSI even at 2.
The legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Aaliyah Fearick will lead things off for the Spartans here in the road 4th inning. Dolphins have drawn even. Our score now knotted up at 2. And Alexis Miramontes returns to the circle, hoping to provide the Dolphins some much-needed strong relief pitching. As CSI has had the lead in 2 of their last 3 games. They led in both games yesterday, but could not protect that lead. Miramontes will look to keep this game even, as the Dolphins scored 2 times on 3 base hits in the home 3rd inning. That out call at third base, a big one, as Mariah Carcano was cut down trying to steal as the lead runner. Amanda Stalker then followed with a game-tying double, as that's blooped into left field for a base hit. And Fearick is on to open up the 4th inning. That will bring up Caitlin Tuducko. Pitch on its way. Tuducko shows bunt. And she bunted that one off her foot in the box. Foul ball. Comes the 0-1, and that's bunted straight back. Foul. Just like that, it's 0-2. And that misses up and away. We'll see how aggressive Therick looks to be over at first base. Spartans were clearly looking to bunt the runner over. Now, perhaps they try and swipe a bag. Comes the 1-2. And that's hit sharply to short. Chance for two. Flip to second for one. Warner's throw wide of first. And I'm not sure it would have beaten her anyway, as Acosta did well to make sure that ball stayed on the infield. And the Dolphins settle for one out on the fielder's choice. That will bring up Amanda Demerly. Demerly 0 for 1 at the plate. First pitch on its way, and that's high for ball one. Count 1-0. Long look in for Miramontes, and the pitch on its way. It's a bunt, back to the circle. Miramontes on it, throws to first, not in time. We'll get a look at it on replay. Now, one of my top criticisms, if I'm covering, or I should say, if I'm watching the coverage of a road game, is when the commentator acts like a homer. And I try not to do that here. However, I thought they had the out at first. As that's popped up, shallow right center. And the throw will go to third as it gets by Motley. They had the out at third. And it looked like a good deke in center field forced the runner to hold up. Tuducko waited quite a bit of time. So now we have two replays to check out. One over at first base and another on that fly ball to center. Base is now loaded with one out as the first pitch to Adriana Coira is in for a strike. Coira in this game 0 for 2. Comes to bat with a chance to give her team the lead here. And the 0-1 is swung on way late. And the count runs to 0-2. Huge pitch coming up here for Miramontes as she looks for a big punch out. May waste one here on 0-2. And she misses well high. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Miramontes still in control. Bases loaded with Spartans. 1 out. Pitch coming. Is sliced foul. All right, so here's a look at the play over at first base in real time. Might have to cut away. We'll see. That's hit to the left side. Balderas looking home, throws there, and the out is recorded at the plate. So Balderas decisively going home with it. Had a perfect ground ball to throw on. Her momentum carrying her toward home plate made that play a bit easier. But she certainly didn't have time to spare. And the Dolphins get the force at the plate for a big second out. It's going to be left to Eliana Raposo, starting pitcher for the Spartans, looking to help her own cause. First pitch, in for a strike. Raposo is 1 for 2 at the plate. Comes the 0-1. And that's hit softly over shortstop and into left center for a base hit. That will bring home 2 as the throw goes to third, allowing Raposo to advance to second base. It's a 2 RBI single for the Spartans starting pitcher, and Raposo has made it a 4-2 ball game. Another huge 2-out hit for this Spartans team. They have done a tremendous job swinging the bats with 2 outs and runners on base. This time, they make it a 2-run game just after the Dolphins had drawn even in the bottom half of the third. A chance now to do even more damage as Tara Hagan will be the batter. 2 in scoring position, 2 outs. Now 10 hits in this game for the Spartans, and no fewer than 5 of those have been very softly hit. The Dolphins have caught some very tough breaks on balls that have not been hit particularly well. That's fouled away as the count goes to 2-1. Keep in mind, the Dolphins did lose an out at third base when the ball got away from Motley. That was a huge play in this game. You'll get a look at it again following this next pitch, but that play looming large as that's popped up. Foul territory. Long run for Acosta, and it's off the fence. Here's a look at that blooper into shallow right center. The runner had to hold between second and third, as in fact that was the replay that followed. That was the RBI hit. We'll have to scroll back just a bit for the play in center. Without a monitor, it gets a bit tough, but we have it. Here it is. This is the correct play on that blooper into center field. You see the runner holding. It actually appeared the runner was tagging up at second. If that throw is handled by Motley, they have the out at third, as that's hit to straightaway right. And Stalker makes the catch to retire the side. But not before the Spartans go back in front by 2. A 2 RBI base hit by Eliana Raposo gives Stack the lead back. It is now 4-2 Spartans headed to the home fourth.
Dear softball, thank you. Thank you for the countless memories you have given me. Thank you for the friends and the family you have brought into my life. Thank you for giving me something to look forward to when the times got tough. You have taught me that this game is about so much more than myself and more than the wins and the losses. It's about the impact you can make on people and difference you can make in this world just by playing this game. Through the smiles, the tears, the sweat, and the injuries, you have given me the ability to live out my dreams and do what I've always wanted to do. Play at the highest level and compete with some of my best friends and sisters that stand to the left and right of me. You have brought so many great people into my life, some of my best friends that are no longer just friends but family. I fell in love with you at such a young age and I've never looked back. You have given me the opportunities that no other sport could have given me. You have showed me that you can bring so many different people from different backgrounds together to all play this game and all share one thing in common, you. You have allowed me to travel the world and see things I could have never imagined seeing and adventuring out and doing things I'd never imagined doing. You have given me the opportunity to grow your game and inspire so many young girls around this world. I will forever be in debt to you for the opportunities you have given me. The one thing I am most thankful for about you is that you have taught me that no matter how many times I failed in the game or in life, that things will be okay, because from those failures I would learn so much about myself to not only make me a better player on the field, but also a better person off the field and down this lifelong road. The life lessons you have taught me through this game, I will forever be thankful for to take with me and never let go.
Softball, I love you so much. Please don't ever stop growing and inspiring like you did for me, Jesse.
And we have a quick out to open up the home fourth inning as Olivia Warner skies one out to straightaway left, where the catch was made for out number one. Spartans now lead the Dolphins 4-2. Stack with 10 hits in this game. The Dolphins with 3. All of those Dolphin hits came in the bottom half of the third inning. Dolphins have been victimized by some tough luck in this game, but as I've said all day long, the Spartans have done a tremendous job hitting with 2 outs and runners on base. They've come through, it seems, just about every chance, with the exception of the first inning in this game. Spartans had a runner on third with nobody out and didn't score, but that really is the lone blemish on their stat line, hitting with runners on. Count on Motley now 2-1. Motley in this game 0 for 1. Pitch on its way, and that's fouled off. Count 2-2 on Motley. That misses for ball 3. And that's it out to right center. Hit well, and that's down for an extra base hit. Motley heads for second, and she will stop there with a 1-out double. So Motley once again hits the ball well. We saw that in game 1. However, that well-struck ball in the first game went for an out. Here, Motley will reach second on a 1-out extra base hit. And we'll see if the Dolphins are about to send a pinch hitter to the plate. It appears they will, as Sabrina Caffel has been called back to the dugout. Had to attend to our live stats quickly, as during this game, our stats have only been updating in between innings. Not exactly sure what's going on there. As Natalia Kanath will be the pinch hitter. She takes up and in for ball 1. She reached on an infield single during her game 1 pinch hitting appearance. Comes the 1-0. That's pulled foul. Here's a look at that last base hit by Motley. Now, over the live stream, skies are looking awfully dark here at the CSI Softball Complex. However, that is not exactly the case, as Knopf takes strike 2, but there is some cloud coverage over the left center field wall and beyond the center field fence. Blue skies beyond the right field wall, which you can't see much at home, as Kanath strikes out, and there are 2 away. That's a big run on second for the Dolphins here. And it will be left to Cassidy Latour. In this game, Latour is 0 for 1. And this is a big opportunity for the Dolphins to come through with a much-needed 2-out hit. Those hits have been elusive for much of the day. Stalker delivered earlier in this game as Latour takes ball 1. That's popped up. Foul territory, and reaching up against the fence is Hagan to make the catch. Tough break there for the Dolphins as that ball barely stayed in play. And with that, the fourth inning comes to a close. Our score through 4, the Spartans 4 and the Dolphins 2.
Dear softball, thank you. Thank you for taking in that crazy hyper 5-year-old and giving her away to channel that energy so positively. Thank you for the role models you have given me. Thank you for teaching me how to be a teammate. Thank you for teaching me how to deal with failure. Thank you for all of my friends. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to go to a university like the University of Florida and get my degree while playing this incredible sport. Thank you for the bond you have created between me and my family. Thank you for all of the coaches that you have given me that have impacted my life beyond measure. Megan Stotts, Lisa Vigo, Mike Stith, and Coach Walton. Thank you for this platform to impact the next generation of softball players. Thank you for giving Florida softball a way to honor pediatric cancer every time we step on the field with our yellow flowers. Thank you for the feeling of playing for something so much bigger than myself. Thank you for being so much more than a sport. This sport has given me everything and more.
And we are back from the CSI softball complex, where I would be remiss if I did not mention that today is National Student Athlete Day. So that's something I should have opened with, but nonetheless, we bring that to our audience's attention now as we celebrate the nation's student athletes today, Saturday, April 6th. That pitch misses low for ball 1 as the count runs even on Jessica Fierick. Fierick 0 for 1 in this game, has drawn a walk. The 1-1 on its way for Miramontes, and that's low for ball 2. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Spartans here in the 5th. Here comes the 2-1. And time was called by Fierick. And Miramontes has taken some long looks in. Fierick back in the box. Here's the 2-1. And that is smoked into left center field for a base hit. That will roll all the way to the fence. Fierick headed for second, and she is in standing with a leadoff double. That might be the hardest hit ball we've seen all day. As we'll get a second look at that last swing right here. And it looks like we may also get a pitching change for the Dolphins. And Kennedy Ruth is headed into the game for CSI. That just shows you how much this game means to the Dolphins. If the Dolphins don't win this game, their chances of catching the Spartans in the standings would likely ride almost solely on their performance in the next meeting between these two teams, as the Spartans would move 4 games ahead of CSI in the conference standings. However, if the Dolphins were to split, they would stay 2 games back. So 2 games, not a ton to make up. 4 games, not so easy. So this game a big one for CSI. We will also have a pinch runner at second. Angelina Lappy will pinch run at second for the Spartans. And at the plate, in a big spot, will be Olivia Leone. Spartans now have 11 hits in this game. They had 6 against Kennedy Ruth in game 1. We don't have replay to go back to, but 2 of those runs that Ruth surrendered in game 1 went down as unearned. And the reason for that was a dropped fly ball in left field by Sabrina Caffel. There was second thought giving to that scoring, but we don't have video to review. So without a clear look at it, that play is going to stand as an error. And I think in real time, I didn't have much doubt about it. Didn't really think about it until it was brought to my attention in between games. But that ball in left field, if read correctly off the bat, is certainly caught. And it wasn't hit particularly hard either. So that stands as an error, and that ball was hit hard into right center field. It was cut off nicely by Carcano as Leone is held to a single. Either way, it is a run-scoring single as the Spartans now lead at 5-2. That will bring up Aaliyah Fierick as you get a second look at that RBI base hit by Leone. It's now a 3-run Spartans lead. Bunt attempt toward the circle. Ruth throws to first, and she had no chance. As the Spartans continue to rack up the hits in this game, they now have 13 base hits with nobody out here in the 5th. Caitlin Taducco will be the batter. So Tara Hagan, who previously came out, will re-enter the game. So expect that coming up if Hagan gets a turn at bat. As that bunt will put 2 in scoring position. Ruth goes to first with it, and there's 1 out in the inning. Amanda Demerly will be the batter. And that will draw at least the left side of the infield in. Acosta creeping in at first as well. Motley is way in at third. Balderas in at short. And Demerly takes a strike. Demerly 1 for 2 in this game. And she takes outside for ball 1. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike on the Spartan center fielder. Ruth delivers. That's high. First base is open. But with the number 9 hitter at the plate, you'd hate to issue a walk in this spot. Long look in from Ruth. Here comes the 2-1. And there's a late swing and miss by Demerly for strike 2. Ruth 1 strike away from a big second out. On deck is Elise Marcano. Here comes the 2-2. That's popped up. Foul. Count remains even at 2. So we had Kennedy Ruth at about, I'd say, 110 pitches in game 1. That's unofficial. We'd have to check the box score, which I may have right here. Comes the 2-2. And that's swung on and missed for strike 3. So Ruth picks up the strikeout. And there are 2 gone in the inning. Ruth in game 1 threw 102 pitches, allowed 7 runs on 6 hits. 4 of the runs were earned. She walked 3 and did not record a strikeout. As that's hit toward the left field corner, Caffel on the move makes the sliding catch in foul ground for a big third out. So Ruth allows an RBI hit and nothing more as she strands 2 in scoring position. And the Dolphins will come to bat in the 5th, trailing 5-2.
Dear softball, 16 years, 16 long years is what I've given you. But as for what you have given me, it goes far more than what I can begin to explain. I want to first and foremost thank you for the work ethic you instilled in me from a young age. You made me realize at 8 years old, nothing will work unless you do. The long days spent at lessons and the long nights still working, even as others have left the field, You have taught me how to fight and not settle for mediocrity in anything I do. You have made me understand what it means to be a competitor on the field and a champion in life. You have taught me what it means to be completely and utterly passionate about something, that by putting your blood, sweat, and tears into your craft every day, you can achieve your dreams. Realizing that no matter how many people may doubt your size, one thing they can never doubt is your heart. I also want to thank you for teaching me what it means to be committed to something bigger than myself, to not only play for myself, but for my family, teammates, coaches, and especially for a God who has taught me through this game to live my life fearlessly and humble each and every day. Lastly, you have taught me about perseverance and what it means to fight through adversity. By playing a game of failure, you have taught me that it is inevitable. In the great words of John Wooden, failure is not fatal, but failure to change might be. And when I am faced with conflict and trouble, wherever life takes me, I will look back on my years of playing and know you have taught me.
And we're back for the home fifth inning. Our commercial break had to be cut a bit short as the first pitch of the inning was lofted out to shallow left, where the catch was made for out number one. Mariah Carcano led things off for the Dolphins. With that last out, she's now 1 for 2. And it's back to the top of the order with Eileen Balderas. Balderas, 1 for 2 thus far in this game. Dolphins hoping to get some base runners for the middle of the lineup, and that won't do it, as Balderas grounds out to third, and very quickly there are 2 away in the inning.
The right fielder, number 30, Amanda Stalker.
That will bring up Amanda Stalker. Stalker is 1 for 2 in this game as well. Made a very nice diving catch out in right field earlier. And she's really cemented herself as an everyday player for this Dolphins team. Stalker ahead 1-0 here after that last pitch got away. Here comes the 1-0. And that's it out to center. But Stalker didn't get all of it, as the catch was made in center field by Demerly for the final out of the inning. Dolphins go down very quickly, 1-2-3 in the home fifth. We head to the sixth with the Spartans leading 5-2.
The legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Top of the sixth inning from the CSI softball complex. Adriana Coira, the batter. She's ahead 1-0. Pitch on its way from Kennedy Ruth. That's hit sharply to short. And Balderas throws out Coira for a quick first out.
Now batting the pitcher, number 42, Ileana Raposo.
Well, this game is headed for a potential finish ahead of 4 p.m. I would not complain. Now, we had one of the quickest games I've ever covered against Queens a week ago. That game was lightning quick. And for a game where 7 runs have been scored, this game is really moving as well. Game 1 was wrapped up in about an hour and 35, hour and 40 minutes, which is a decently long game. As I mentioned during the pregame ahead of Game 1, I will have to hit the road as soon as we wrap up here. Have to be in Philadelphia no later than 7 o'clock tonight for night 1 of WrestleMania. I will not be on the air tomorrow. On-air debut over at the Baseball Diamond. A friend of Nick Durst, John Venezia. Hope I pronounced that correctly. But John will have the call for both games tomorrow. However, in the future, likely beginning with the next game that we have trouble staffing, I will be able to call games remotely. Now, it may not be easy, but it can certainly be done. We tested that yesterday, and it is certainly possible. So if this situation were to arise again, as that pitch is in for a called strike 2, Eliana Raposo at the plate here, and she's run the count full. But should the situation arise again where either Nick or myself cannot be in attendance for a game, I should be able to call the game from anywhere with internet. As Raposo was hit by that pitch now, I thought I heard it hit the bat. But instead, it grazed the top of her helmet. You don't see that very often. Not sure you'll see much of it on the replay. But here's a look. It appears you will see it. Oh, yeah, that's off the helmet of the batter, off the helmet of the catcher. Take your base. As Tara Hagan takes a strike. So the system we would use to stream remotely was tested yesterday. The delay is about 20 seconds, which is not bad at all. And that's 20 seconds from real time. So the transmission of a remote feed from wherever I am to the ECC network would only be a 20-second delay off of real-time action. That is very good. I won't go into details on how that's set up, but I will say that once my move to New Jersey is completed, making every game will be a bit tougher. So in that case, I would be able to broadcast the game from home. Should be a very interesting 2024-2025 as that's grounded through the middle. And the Spartans have a pair of one-out base runners. A hit batter and a ground ball base hit up the middle. I put 2 on for Stack, and Jessica Furyk will be the batter. Here's a look at that base hit. At the plate in this game, Furyk is 1 for 2. The Spartans now have 14 hits in this game. And I think those hit tallies are at the point now where they've become pretty big concern for the Dolphins. And today, especially in this game, a few of those have been tough luck base hits, but we've also seen plenty of well-struck balls by the Spartans. And I think if you're the Dolphins pitching staff, the elusive third out has become problematic as well. Dolphins, with runners on base and 2 outs, at least today, have not been able to get that big out. As that's chopped to short, Balderas goes to third and the throw gets away. That will score a run, and Hagan will go from second to third as now they have a run down at first. And Furyk is allowed to scamper back. Well, we'll see where this error goes. That looked like a perfect throw by Balderas. Perhaps not. Perhaps not. That's going to be an E6. So the throw was made into the runner, and I'm not sure Motley had a chance to get it without her glove hitting the runner. So that's going to be an error on the shortstop. Fielder's choice officially on the scorecard. And the Spartans now lead at 6-2. They have scored in each of the last 5 innings. As that's off the glove of Latour, Fierick heads for second, and she's in safely as the count runs to 2-0 on Olivia Leone. Leone at the plate is 3 for 3. And the 2-0 misses outside. Three and 0 the count on the Spartans catcher. Walk would set up a force all around, and that indeed will be ball 4. So it's a 4-pitch walk issued to Leone. And the Spartans have asked for time. We'll see if there is going to be a change, and if so, where. And it's going to be a pinch hitter. So Naya Diaz will be the pinch hitter in this spot as she locates a bat. And Diaz will get a big opportunity here with the bases loaded. Ruth looks in, ahead of the first pitch, and that's in for a called strike. When you hear my audio cut out, I'm communicating with the stats desk. Those who have watched regularly know this. Unfortunately, many game days, I have multiple duties. I'm not behind the stats computer, as that's hit well to left, but I think she just got under it, and Diaz just missed on a grand slam there. But a sacrifice fly will make it 7-2, and the Spartans now lead by 5. That will bring up Caitlin Tuducko. Or will it? It will, but there will be a pinch runner at second base as well. So leading by 5, I thought we were getting a pinch runner. We are not, though there certainly was a motion made for one. As Ruth sails one to the backstop, and both runners will advance. Well, this game has slowly slipped away from the Dolphins since the 3rd inning. They trailed by 5 in game 1. They trailed by 5 yesterday against Mercy. They trail by 5 here. And they cannot afford to give up a hit, as Ruth nearly sent another to the backstop. Count now 2-0. Two and 0 pitch on its way. And that's not close. So Ruth has missed badly with the last 3. And this inning, very slowly, beginning to spiral as 2 runs are already home. And that's another walk. Bases are loaded for Amanda Demerly. And if Ruth doesn't get Demerly, it would send it back to the top of the order. And you have to think, this could be her last batter. Dolphins had to use a lot of relief pitching yesterday. However, they didn't have to use as many pitchers as you would think, with 40 runs scored between the two teams across 2 games. Demerly shows bunt and takes ball 1 low. And once again, that pitch was not close. Count 1-0. Demerly at the plate in this game is 1 for 3. She shows bunt again and takes ball 2. Count 2 balls and no strikes on the Spartan center fielder. That's inside. Count now 3-0 on Demerly. And Demerly takes ball 4. It's another 4-pitch walk. That will force in a run. It's now 8-2. That will bring up Elise Marcano. Marcano at the plate, 2 for 4 in this game. And a base hit here could effectively put this one out of reach and make it an 8-run game. A base hit here could potentially end this game at 6. Ruth behind 1-0 again, and she finds the zone for a strike. Comes the 1-1, and that's blocked by Latour. Count now 2-1. Ruth has missed with 10 out of the last 11. And that's a big break there as that contacted the bat. It's a foul ball, and the count is even at 2. Had Marcano not gotten a piece, that would have been ball 3. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the base is loaded. And that's hit back toward the middle. Warner has no play, and now a second runner is headed home, and the runner is out. Well, that would have been the run to make it an 8-run game. The Dolphins, with a good heads-up play on the infield, Warner had her eye on the runner trying to come home and was able to cut down the runner at the plate for the 3rd out of the inning. But not before the Spartans score 4 times. They now lead the Dolphins 9-2.
Thank you, softball, for making me such a stronger person. I think the life lessons that we go through being student athletes is just incredible. I mean, we have to learn to balance so many different things on a daily basis, and softball in particular is such a sport of failure that it's taught me to just never give up.
And we're back for the home 6th inning with a 1-pitch out as Anissa Acosta grounds out. And there's 1 away. So I may have misspoke. I had second base obstructed. I was informed during the break that Warner did bobble the ball at second. So that was an error. And another unearned run comes home to score in this game. 2 nearly came home on the play, but Warner recovered quickly enough to throw out the trailing runner at the plate. And now Olivia Wanzer will be the batter as she takes high. The temperature slowly falling here at the CSI softball complex. It's gotten much more chilly as we approach 4 o'clock. And Wanzer takes a called strike. We are going to have the quickest post-game departure that I've ever had in 9 years of doing this, as I need to get on the road as quickly as possible. Now, Dolphins hope that I have to arrive late and that they can put together a rally, but if they don't, then I have to sign off very quickly as the count runs full on Wanzer, 3-2. Olivia 0 for 1 at the plate in this game. Check that, 0 for 2. And she takes a called strike 3 on the inside corner. That will bring up Olivia Warner. Warner is 0 for 2 at the plate. She bats here at the bases empty and 2 outs in the home 6th. Pitch on its way, and that's grounded through the left side for a base hit. And the Dolphins have a 2-out base runner for Bridget Motley. Motley is 1 for 2 in this game. She doubled earlier, was stranded on base in that spot. She comes to the plate here with a runner on and 2 outs as she takes a called strike 1. Comes the 0-1. That's chopped to the left side, handled at third, and the throw to first by Thierich is in time to retire the side. Dolphins pick up their 5th hit of the game, but that is all as Warner is stranded on base, and we head to the 7th with the Spartans leading 9-2.
Dear softball, where to begin with what you have given me? I have struggled with you at times, but you have unequivocally made me who I am today. You have given me light in the darkest times where I thought light could not enter. Growing up, you were there for me when social groups may not have been. You were there through familiar hard times, and you never gave up on me. You have introduced me to so many influential people in my life, and I wouldn't have dreamt of meeting if it was not for you. You always kept me motivated to pursue a dream. No matter what was going on in life, you kept inspiring me to chase my dreams. And you have taught me many life lessons of overcoming, perseverance, and what it truly means to dedicate yourself to your craft. You have taught me that success is not guaranteed or promised, and that it is earned every second of every day. Softball, you have guided me, pushed me to be my best, and inspired me. You kept me going when I thought I had no more to give. At times, you were my last hope. You have led me to this moment here, today, where I could not be more indebted to you. My name is Jenna Lilly. I am a senior softball player at the University of Oregon, majoring in sociology with a minor in psychology.
Seventh inning from the CSI softball complex, and a new pitcher is into the game for the Dolphins. Kelsey Strayer will come on in relief of Kennedy Ruth. Ruth came on in relief of Alexis Miramontes, who relieved starter Alexandra Frenza. And the Dolphins, through 3 innings, were tied at 2 in this game. But the Spartans have scored in 5 straight innings, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 4 in the 6th. They lead at 9-2. Numbers for Strayer on the season: she comes in having appeared in 9 games, all in relief. She's pitched to a 2-2 record with a whip of .202 and a 5.86 ERA. In 14 1/3, she's allowed 24 hits, 12 runs, all of those earned. She's walked 5 and struck out 3. Opposing batters hitting .364 against her. She's fallen behind quickly, 3-1 against Adriana Coira. And Coira slaps one foul. Coira in this game is 0 for 4. She is the only Spartan starter without a base hit. Stack with 14 hits in this game. Comes the payoff pitch. That's fouled off again. Count remains full, 3-2. And that's hit sharply off Strayer's glove. She's got it. Throw to first in time. And there's one away in the inning. That will bring up Eliana Raposo. As we'll get one more look at that last snag by Strayer in the circle to prevent a base hit. Raposo takes ball one. She's 2 for 3 in this game. She's driven in 2 runs as well. And she takes a called strike. Once again, this is Joe Foreman on the call. I will not be here tomorrow. John Venezia making his debut on Sportsnet over at baseball. 2 9-inning games tomorrow between the Dolphins and the Spartans. First pitch scheduled for noon. Softball on the road at Bloomfield. Those games were scheduled for tomorrow, were rescheduled as Raposo strikes out, and then moved back to tomorrow. Both Nick and I will join you together back from WrestleMania next week. We will be here, we believe, for every game the rest of the way. So I think Nick and I will be here for every game the rest of the season. That remains to be seen. But it appears that way as Tara Hagan fouls that pitch back, and she's behind 0-1. I think Nick and I have both called more games solo during the last 2 or 3 weeks than we have in the previous 2 years. As that's hit to third, Motley throws in time, and Hagan is retired for the final out in the road 7th. Dolphins down to their final 3 outs. They trail 9-2 when they come to bat in the home half of inning number 7.
Dear softball, thank you. Thank you for the countless memories you have given me. Thank you for the friends and the family you have brought into my life. Thank you for giving me something to look forward to when the times got tough. You have taught me that this game is about so much more than myself and more than the wins and the losses. It's about the impact you can make on people and difference you can make in this world just by playing this game. Through the smiles, the tears, the sweat, and the injuries, you have given me the ability to live out my dreams and do what I've always wanted to do. Play at the highest level and compete with some of my best friends and sisters that stand to the left and right of me. You have brought so many great people into my life, some of my best friends that are no longer just friends but family. I fell in love with you at such a young age and I've never looked back. You have given me the opportunities that no other sport could have given me. You have showed me that you can bring so many different people from different backgrounds together to all play this game and all share one thing in common, you. You have allowed me to travel the world and see things I could have never imagined seeing and adventuring out and doing things I'd never imagined doing. You have given me the opportunity to grow your game and inspire so many young girls around this world. I will forever be in debt to you for the opportunities you have given me. The one thing I am most thankful for about you is that you have taught me that no matter how many times I failed in the game or in life, that things will be okay, because from those failures I would learn so much about myself to not only make me a better player on the field, but also a better person off the field and down this lifelong road. The life lessons you have taught me through this game, I will forever be thankful for to take with me and never let go. Softball, I love you so much. Please don't ever stop growing and inspiring like you did for me. Jesse.
Sabrina Caffel leads off for the Dolphins in the home 7th inning. Her team trailing by 7. As the Dolphins drew even in the 3rd. The score knotted up at 2 at that time. Spartans have scored the last 7. And Caffel strikes out on 3 pitches for out number 1. Broadcast schedule coming up. Baseball tomorrow, right back here on the ECC Network. Next week, we have a packed week of action coming up. It begins early in the week with softball on Wednesday as Malloy University is scheduled to visit the CSI softball complex, weather permitting. On Thursday, the Dolphins will take on Dominican University of New York. Those games scheduled for 2 and 4 p.m. here at CSI. We then head over to baseball on Friday for a single game against Queens College. And then we're back on Sunday at the baseball diamond for another single game against Queens College. Breast cancer awareness game, free hot dogs, baseball bingo. I can't wait. Sal always does a great job with those events like baseball bingo, open to students. And baseball, of course, knows how to host a breast cancer awareness game. For many years, the Grace Hillary Breast Cancer Awareness Game was a staple on the schedule. Dolphins have also hosted Heroes Day. That returns for a second season as well. Big day for me on Saturday as well, as Latour takes low for ball 3. But on Saturday, my company, which I am a co-founder, the PDF Sports Network, opens the American Arena League 2 season. So I get to cover some arena football on Saturday night. You can catch those games on YouTube if you can't get enough of me. Check out the PDF Sports Network on Saturday night. I'll be joined by my former office mate in athletics, David Pizzuto. He and I will have the call as the Jersey Bearcats open their season. 3-2 pitch hit well to right by Latour, and that will fall for an extra base hit. Off the bat, that may have been initially misjudged by Thierick, who broke in, and as a result, Latour is on with a one-out double. That will bring up Mariah Carcano as you get one more look at that extra base hit by Latour. So Latour into second base standing with a one-out, extra base hit. And now Mariah Carcano comes to the plate. Infield way in. I'm not sure they could be in any further. I don't think I've ever seen a first baseman play this close. Comes the 0-1. That's off the outside corner. So I will be calling a game every day next week from Wednesday through Sunday. The question is, do we have a game at home next Monday? As that's outside. We do not at softball. And I think baseball's on the road that day as well. So I think we're clear on Monday the 15th. That one slapped foul, and the count evens up on Carcano at 2-2. We do, however, have softball on Wednesday, April 17th. It's been striking compared to years past how few non-conference weekday baseball games we've had since conference play has begun. Now, do we have one final baseball scoring update before I sign off, Stephanie? Dolphins trailed 10-6 in Game 1 in the 9th inning. We don't know whether or not they came back because Stack has multiple events going on at once. Therefore, there are no live stats at baseball. However, we can get you one final update on Game 2 before signing off as Eileen Balderas takes ball 1. Balderas, 1 for 3 in this game. And she takes a strike on the outside corner. Scoring update coming in, we promise. No score, bottom third. Two balls and one strike the count. And Balderas hits one toward the right field corner, slicing toward the line, and a diving catch is made in fair territory by Thierick to end the game. How about that play? Flashing the leather to bring this one to a close as the Spartans pick up a sweep of the Dolphins here at the CSI Softball Complex. Our final score, Stack 9 and Staten Island 2. And we will send this broadcast to its conclusion with one more look at that last play. This has been Joe Foreman. I'll be back with you next week. Baseball tomorrow, right back here on the ECC Network. Tune in for that. And Nick, I know you're watching. I'm heading down to Philly right now as the Dolphins fall in Game 2 by a final score of 9-2. The Spartans sweep this doubleheader. CSI now 3-5 in conference play. The Spartans now 7-1. Tune in to baseball tomorrow, and I'll see everybody again next week.